Welcome to QGenda. Today, we will create an account and take a tour around the system. First, open up any web browser and go to www.qgenda.com. In the top right, you'll see an orange link that says Create Account. Once you've clicked on that, you'll see the space here where you can enter in your information and create your password. Today, I'll create a user named Dana. When creating your password, just make sure that it's at least 6 characters long. Then, when you're done, click Sign Up. Now, you can successfully enter in your email address and password into the login information above. When you're ready, just click Login. If we want to look at the full group schedule, the best place to do that is in the View link. So go ahead and click on View. And this will take you to your QGenda View tab. First, in the top left corner, we can change the start date, the range, or the view by of how we're looking at the schedule. If you want to change the date, just click inside the start date box. You can choose a new date by clicking on one of the days in the calendar dialog box. You'll see as you make a change in this area, the Go button will highlight in green. It's signaling to you that you have to refresh your screen in order for those changes to take effect. You can also change the range. Right now, we're looking at 3 weeks. I'll go ahead and change it to 1. And then click Go. Now you'll see on the schedule grid, only 1 week shows. I can also change this view by. Right now, the selection is staff down left. This means that all staff members are listed down here on the left-hand side. We can change this to tasks down left. I also have to click Go here. Now you'll see instead of the names populating on the left-hand side of the schedule grid, it's all of the tasks. Depending on which way you are most used to looking at the schedule, you can use either one of those functions. Now, let's look at the staff box. That's this box right here on the left-hand side of your screen. It's got all of our staff members listed with several icons next to each one of their names. The first one is what looks like a small lightning bulb, and this is our highlight function. So if we wanted to know where Dr. Best was going to be throughout this entire schedule, we could just click on that highlight button and pick apart his name in the schedule. You'll see it highlights the person in dark blue background. In order to remove the highlighting, we can just click on the light bulb one more time and it goes away. Another way to pick apart pieces of the schedule is to use these magnifying glasses. Each person has 2 magnifying glasses. One has a green arrow and the other one has a red arrow. And these are hide and show icons. So let's say I only wanted to look at Dr. Best's schedule. What I can do is use these global magnifying glasses. I'll go ahead and click on the red one, and this is hide all. Then I can go to Dr. Best and click on the green arrow. This only shows Dr. Best's schedule and where he's going to be on this week that I have displayed. If I want to show everybody back on the schedule again, the best way to do this is to click in this drop-down menu and choose All Staff. That way, you'll know just by looking at this filter box that all of the staff members are displayed. Another way to pick apart the schedule is to use what we call staff filters. If I wanted to only show my schedule really quickly without having to use any of these hide and show icons, I can create a staff filter just for myself. The way to do that is to click on this small spreadsheet icon with the plus sign in the middle of it. I'm going to call this one My Schedule. Once you type in the name, click Add. And because I signed up as Dr. Mobley, Dana Mobley, I'm going to click on this checkbox. Now, what I can do is click in this drop-down menu and choose the filter that says My Schedule. Now, only my name populates the schedule grid. This is an easy way to just quickly look at what you're doing throughout the schedule. I'll show you what this looks like in Staff Down Left also. I'm going to come to this View by Selector and choose Staff Down Left. Once you hit Go, you'll see that now only my name is listed on the left-hand side and all of my assignments populate the schedule. Again, if you want to make sure you're looking at everybody back on the schedule again, just choose the filter that says All Staff. Now, let's look at the task box. This box is located down at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Each task is listed, and each task also has another pair of magnifying glasses. These are also hide and show icons for each task. So, if you wanted to only display the task that says OB call, what you could do is click on this red arrow magnifying glass above all the other ones that says hide all. This will take all tasks off of the schedule grid. Once you've done that, then you can go to the OB call green arrow magnifying glass and just show that one. Again, this will only display OB call where it is on the schedule. Now, if we want to make sure we're looking at all the tasks that are scheduled in this range, we can come to this drop-down menu again and choose the one that says All Tasks. We can also create task filters. So if I wanted to make a filter that only shows me the call tasks, what I can do is click on this spreadsheet icon with the plus sign in the middle of it. This is very similar to how we added a staff filter. So I'm going to call this one Calls. Once you've typed in the name, click Add, and then go through and check off the tasks that you want to include. I'm going to include OB call, first call, second, and third call. So once I've done that, I can come to this drop-down menu, choose the filter that I just created called Calls, and only the tasks that I selected in that filter will populate the schedule grid. Again, if you want to make sure you're looking at everything that's on the schedule, just make sure it says All Tasks in that drop-down menu. If you want to make any schedule requests in QGenda, just click on this blue Request link, and it will take you to your Request tab. Again, the first thing to note is that you can always change your start date and your range in the top left-hand corner. Right now, my schedule starts on January 5th, but as you can see, the schedule for these couple of weeks has already been made. What I'll need to do in order to make a request is to move my start date forward to sometime in the future when the schedule hasn't been made. Now, I'm looking at a blank schedule. In order to make a request, find your row. Then, hover your mouse over the day that you'd like to make the request for. Then click on that cell. A list will pop up of all of the tasks that you can request. I'll go ahead and choose vacation. After clicking on the task name, it will populate in the cell that we've just clicked on, with an exclamation point inside of a yellow triangle, as shown on Monday, March 2nd. These yield signs are the symbol for a pending request. If these requests are set up for admin approval, an email notification will be sent to your admin for them to take action to reject or approve the requests. Once they've decided, then you will also get an email notification letting you know that your request has either been rejected or approved. Down here at the bottom under Request Summary, you can type a note to your admin in this text field. By clicking on My Request History, you can also see all of the requests that you've made in QGenda and their status. As you may see, anything that's still pending admin approval can be undone. If you click on Undo Request, just refresh your page and the request will disappear. Now that you've seen the first requesting video, let's go through two specific examples that may come in handy when it comes time to log in and start making requests. First, go ahead and log in and click on your Request tab. For these examples, I've logged in as Dr. Fowler in the internal medicine database. The specific task names may look differently in your respective databases, but the process will be very similar. The first example we'll go through is requesting an ETO on a schedule that has already been published. So let's say that for Tuesday, January 27th, I need to request some ETO time. So I'll hover my mouse over the cell and click on that day. Another thing to note is that I've simplified the list of requestable tasks for the purposes of this example. In your respective databases, any and all requestable tasks will be listed here. So I need to request some ETO time in the morning, and I'm going to go ahead and block it off for the whole morning time block. So if I click on ETO AM, QGenda will prompt me to select my start time and end time for the ETO that I'm requesting. So now I've just made a request for 8:20 a.m. to 12:50 p.m. When I click Make Request, it will drop down into the cell for January 27th with the pending caution symbol next to it. Again, from the first video, this means that it's been sent to your admin for approval. Now I need to make a request for ETO in the PM session as well. Don't forget, when making your request, to write a note to your admin explaining why you need that ETO day or any other request on a schedule that has already been published. In this tab, My Request Summary, you can see all of the tasks that you've requested. And by clicking on My Request History, again you'll be able to see a list of all your requests, as well as be able to undo your requests on the far right. If you've entered in something incorrectly or need to re-enter a time, you can always click Undo Request and redo the request. Now let's say for our second example that I need to go to a meeting on Thursday, January 29th. So if I click on the cell that corresponds to Thursday, January 29th, and choose the meeting task, I can again make selections for what time I need to go on this meeting. After hitting Make Request, you will see the request populate in the cell again with the yellow caution symbol. Again, this means that it's been sent to your admin for approval. And don't forget to type a note to your admin telling them what type of meeting you need to attend and why. If you want to make a schedule swap with any of the providers in your group, the way to do that is to click on this swap link. After you've clicked on that, it'll take you to your swap tab. The first thing to note is that you can still always change your start date in the range that you're looking at on your schedule grid. When you make a change here, don't forget to click on Go. Now, let's say that as Dr. Mobley, I want to make a schedule swap on Wednesday, January 21st. There are two ways to do it. The first is clicking on these elevator buttons. Once I click on these, it'll generate a list of all the people that I can swap to. Now let's say I want to swap with Dr. Lifton. The second way to make a swap move is to actually click on the shift and just drag it to the person that I want to give it to. When making a swap, don't forget that a full trade will involve normally two moves, taking my shifts and moving them to somebody else, and taking that person's shifts and moving it to me. Now down here in Swap Summary, you'll see all of the moves in the swap that you've currently made. If you want to communicate with this other provider, you can always type notes in this text box. If you've made a mistake and don't want to make the swap go through, you can always click on Undo Swap right here. After reviewing the swap moves and approving them yourself, go ahead and click on Submit Swap. Without clicking on Submit Swap, the other provider involved in your change won't be notified and the swap won't go through. Once you've clicked on Submit Swap, an email will get sent, in this case, to Dr. Lifton. He will be notified to log into his QGenda account and approve or reject any swaps pending his approval. If you have any swaps pending your own approval, those will be located in this tab, Swaps Pending My Approval. The swap moves will be listed down here, and it'll say yes or no next to each one. Any ones that you want to reject, just click no, and any ones that you're okay with, just click yes. If the swaps require admin approval, then those admins will get an email saying that both providers involved in the swap that you've just executed have approved it. Once the admin approves it, then it will go on the schedule. Additionally, you can find any swaps that you've previously made in My Swap History. In this video, we will be going over how to approve requests and send out notification emails of those schedule changes. In this example, Dr. Fowler in the Internal Medicine Database has requested ETO in the morning time block and in the afternoon time block. There are two ways to approve these requests. One is down at the bottom of your admin screen. There are two smaller tabs. The one called Request Pending Approval, if you click on it, will show you the list of all requests that are pending your approval. Off to the side, you can see links to reject and approve. If you want to send out notifications at the same time you're approving these requests to notify those that need to know that the schedule has changed, you'll want to click on Approve and Notify. The second place to approve these requests is on the schedule grid itself. You can click on the pending sign itself, the yellow triangle, and a dialog box will pop up prompting you to approve or reject this request. Again, you'll want to click on Approve and Notify to send out those notifications to those that need to know that the schedule has changed for this provider. Displayed on the screen is an example of an email notification that you may receive. We'll go through several of the components today so you know what to expect. First, look at the From line. All of your email notifications are going to be from QGenda service or service@qgenda.com. That part will never change. Next, look at the subject line. This line will tell you a little bit of information about your email notification. First, it will say whether or not it's a request or a swap. It will also tell you the date that you made that request or swap for. It will also tell you the status of this request or swap. It will say approved, rejected, or pending admin approval. And lastly, the group name will be listed here. The body of the email also gives you some more information about the request or swap. Again, it will list the nature of that request or swap, and it will say the status of approval or rejection. A description of your request will be listed here, and if it's a swap, a description of your swap move will be listed here as well. In this example, this staff member has requested to add faculty vacation on May 20th, 2015. The staff name will always be listed in this box. If you're making a request, this should be your name. In a swap situation, the other staff member's name that you've initiated a swap with will be listed here as well. You can combine your work and personal schedules with a calendar subscription from QGenda. Some of the calendar applications that you can use are Google Calendar, iCal, and iPhone or iPad calendars, Yahoo Calendar, Outlook, or any other web-enabled calendar. In order to do this, you'll need a subscription URL, and this will automatically transfer any schedule assignments for the future and the most recent past weeks onto your personal calendar. Once you've set up the subscription, all schedule changes will update to your personal calendar automatically. To find out how, just click on this sync link. This will show you all the instructions that you'll need in order to initiate the subscription. The most important thing you'll need is this subscription URL. The instructions below outline how to use it and where to put that URL in order to set up the subscription. If you have any questions about this, please contact QGenda Service or your admin. Welcome to the QGenda app. In order to get the app installed on your phone, open up your application store on either your iPhone or Android devices. Search for QGenda and download the app. Once you've installed it and opened it up, you'll get a screen that looks just like this. Enter in your email and your password that you use when you log in normally online. Once you've logged in, you'll get a screen that looks just like this. You'll see that you have 3 different options of viewing the schedule. The first is My Schedule Only. This will filter out all of my assignments in the entire schedule. You'll see that the first date that it starts is Friday, January 16th. I can change this by clicking on that button and moving the date to whatever I need. If I scroll down, it'll show me the entire week's assignments. To change my view, I can click on this drop-down menu and choose the next one by task. This will show me the whole schedule, all of the tasks that are assigned on Monday, and the providers that are assigned to them. If you scroll all the way down, it will show you the entire week. Now let's look at the last one, by staff. Again, this will show me the entire schedule with all the staff member names and any tasks that they are assigned for that day. I can navigate from week to week by using these buttons at the bottom. You can move to the next week or go to the previous week. Now, there are some other features in the app. First, you can use the secure messaging. If you click on this menu option, you can see all of the messages that you've started or that other people have messaged you with. This messaging feature is very secure. If you want to start a new message, just click on New Message and choose from your list of contacts. If you want to add contacts, just click on your Contacts menu option and add contact in the top right-hand corner. Any notifications from the app itself, any messages or calls, you'll see once you open your app. You can also change your status. Right now, I'm away, but I can change it to available. This will be indicated by a green or red dot right next to your status. Lastly, if you click on Settings, you'll see that you can edit some account information for yourself, but you can also add groups. This is helpful if you'd like to message your group of contacts about a certain assignment on any given day. If you have any questions about the app itself, please email your admin and they will help you in the best way that they can.